Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018. It's the career mode, the full team version, and we're on to episode number 30. And in a rare feat for this team, we're going to be visiting a cobbled race, something we're not quite very good at. But I do have a couple of guys that are decent at cobbles, Veldeman and Van Hemelen, and apparently, thanks to the low level of this race, having two decent guys on cobbles is actually going to give us a decent chance today, as both Veldeman and Van Hemelen are amongst the favorites. So I will very much be protecting them towards late in this race. It looks like we have a looping style here that we're going to go over again and again and again, the same couple sets of cobbles. So we'll see very early on how difficult those actually are and how much wear and tear that's probably going to put into the field. Van Hemelen seems to have the highest stamina among the favorites. Veldeman is pretty close. He also seems to be the best sprinter, potentially, among the favorites. Van Hemelen very much not as much a sprinter, so for him it'll be more of survival. If it can be helped, I'll have Van Hemelen leading out Veldeman with just a few riders left in some sort of final group. And potentially the both of them there.
Hello to one and all. The race has cobbled sections that are renowned.
Looks like actually a pretty small field here.
And their riders. You've got to know what you're doing. The race will take place in beautiful weather conditions.
Yeah, a lot of jerseys I'm not too familiar with, and a lot of negative race day conditions. In particular, let's see, we're actually coming out of one of those right now, just right there at the beginning. Van Hemelen, -3 race day condition, his stamina down to a 70. Van Ginniken, he's going to have a disaster of a day. Let's get him assigned right away here. Garrison. Here's Seasbull. Might be okay to try to leave into it. And here's Veldeman, the favorite, on a -4. -9 race stake. He's not going to make it to the end. His cobbles are a -4, so he's actually only a 70 today. Ouch. Ouch, to say the least.
Either they're getting a bit hot, or they're saving themselves for the final dash.
Now I'm essentially into cruise mode for the rest of the season, as my sponsorship is already determined for next year. If you didn't see the last episode, that was my recruiting special. I was just setting up this future season. As I ran out of time, I did have one last move to make. We'll take a look at that after this race, so I won't have any spoilers until then. For now, I'm going to get through this race, and then we'll begin discussing that at that time. So I've got Van Ginniken on Van Hemelen. Let's see, Veldeman, I still want to protect him. So Brown is obviously not a go-to guy, so we'll get that. And then Garrison is today a 65 on cobbles. Harris is not good.
It's now over 2 minutes.
And Bull is better, so we'll protect Bull, as that's our best pure sprinter, with Harris, who's weak. Give Garrison neutral nod. I do worry about whether Veldeman will make it to the end of this race, as well as Van Hemelen, so it could be that we're going to use Bull. Did we just go over the cobbles? I think we might have. No. Oh, okay, we are coming up on them here in a moment. It's a traffic circle, and then you come back through that. Short, but you can see they're still wobbly out of it, which means it actually lasts longer than they expect. But these are very, very short cobbled sections. They'll do damage when we're going full speed later, but right now, it's not going to phase the field at all. until the later stages, which means there actually still could be a decent-sized group at the end. Depends on how much pace we have to push. Breakaway group of 4 riders have 3.5 minutes already. That could open it up a bit. It certainly could, but we'll see. It's a very small looping track from the looks of things here. But we've got a long ways to go, 168 kilometers. I'll be taking that quickly over time here, and we'll skip forward towards the end of this race. We'll see when things start to heat up and guys start to get worn out from racing hard over those cobbles. So I'll see you back in a moment. 35k left to go. The lead group of 4 is down to about a minute on their lead, and they are now attacking each other in that desperation to try to stay out front a little bit longer. Meanwhile, the pressure on the field itself, not that big. 6 riders off the back, but I think that came from a wreck. It was a while back, and they are having some difficulty catching us, but the pace really isn't that hot. The first cobbled section is just 2 stars, just slightly uphill for a moment, and then the second one is 3 stars, but they are both very, very short, and they have not been doing much damage to the field at all. Impact's starting to show up, but there's really not enough times left to go through it to necessarily worry about it. One more time through the cobbled sections, and that's going to be it with 28 kilometers left to go. Now, the wear and tear starting to show on Brown, Van Ginneken, but Van Ginneken's a -5. I think that wear and tear would have been showing up anyway. Harris also starting to get there, and what are other guys? All starting to show it a little bit. I'm riding at an 85 right now, and none of them are in the red. So we will form up a sprint train sooner rather than later on this one. But for now, I think we'll wait until we get down to about 17k to go or so. So speed it up a little bit till then. 90 riders left, so there are some coming off the back. I mean, it's not without some sort of damage as we go under the 20k to go banner. Is that UHC? Looks like UHC attacking. 18k to go. And things starting to open up, so I think this might be a good time to form up. Get everyone on a 99. With all things being considered equal, as they are right now, Bull is definitely our sprinter today. I'm actually nervous about him following Veldeman, as Veldeman's on that -4. I'm going to get Garrison next, as he's much closer to a sprint type. Tempted to get Harris, but Van Hemlen is the freshest. I don't necessarily need the most speed coming down. I need somebody who's going to survive, so Brown's not the first guy to go for a change because Van Ginneken's on that -5, so we'll use him up first. I'm not even going to use his gel just yet. Let's see what a 90 does towards moving up the field as we have slid backwards a bit. The breakaway group has been caught, and he just left Brown behind. Here we go through the final time through.
As the grip of the tires can't be counted on. They're moving along at a fair lick. You've just got to hang on.
I think the finish line might have been right in between those. I know that's the start line. Okay, we're still not getting through the field here, Van Ginneken. Where are we at on everyone, though? Veldeman, Bull struggling a little bit to get up there. Group's shrinking, 60 riders. But Van Ginneken nearing the front of the field now, but there's only 11k left to go. One rider off the front. No, he's not. He's just right there. Okay, now Van Ginneken using himself up. However, Brown has been left behind, as is most of the field, actually. I need to get Brown out of this I'm going to pull him out here to the right side. There we go. And it's his turn. He needs to go. We're down to 10K. Go 95 at Ginnikin. Poor guy never really did anything for us. Brown at least is leading the field, but he's going to run out of energy very soon. As there he goes, his resistance is gone. 8K. Go 97 now. Harris. Brown's done. And Hemlin, 6K to go. 99's from here.
5 kilometers remaining.
That's 4 riders. 4K to go. Okay, I need more speed here. Garrison, it's your turn. Feldman and Bull, they're just fine for this final sprint. 2K to go. Garrison, go ahead and sprint. Pull them along. Pull them along. Feldman, go, go, go. Feldman, come on, get over the top. And Bull, can we sweep it? Can we sweep it? Oh, we're going to sweep. 1, 2, 3. Come on, come on. Yes, yes. These guys were just too slow for us. Feldman, Garrison, Bull never even got over his teammates. McCabe, LeBerg, Camp. So he had a 1, 2, 3 sweep there. Nicely done. That was down to the competition level, because that actually did not feel like a very strong sprint.
We're waiting for the tail enders who continue to arrive.
I mean, Bull was just barely getting started. You can see he's still full of energy. He barely was on the verge of overtaking Garrison even. So, Garrison, nice points for him. The second place finish. That'll be his tops for the year. Feldman takes the win. Sees Bull, who was supposed to be the sprinter on the day, never even really got much of a chance. And Veldeman, supposed to be a lead-out man on the day, should have been the favorite to win, did win. However, with that race day condition, never should have been in the position he was. Okay, one rider still coming to the finish line here. There we go. Now we'll skip through this here. Without rivals today. And yes, so it would seem with a nice clean sweep at the top. Well, anyway, with sponsors already signed for next season, deal finalized, there is no change to what we're getting sponsorship-wise. So that's all set. And last episode, on the 1st of August, we went through signing contracts. I did continue after the end of the episode. Next up will be the Tour of Utah, just a couple days away. This one's much, much harder for a team like myself with some hill climbs, some mountain climbs. Even the sprints are not flat. Again, stages 4 and 5 there. Stage 6, we're going to get slaughtered. Stage 7 as well, as that's an Allscat climb. So definitely not a strong event for us. It is a sponsor objective, but like I said, it's not something that's going to matter at this point in time. Alright, so what I have done is I went ahead and signed another writer. Did I not? Where is he? Is it Conchi? It is. Okay, so Nicola Conchi for 4,600. We got him signed. This was somebody I don't have the potential on. I'm not entirely sure how he's going to be, but he's a 72 overall. with good mountain and hills, prologue, downhill, Barradour, recovery as well. Stamina is not there that high. The resistance is not that high, but for the lower level Pro Continental, it should be pretty competitive. And at just 22 years of age, even if he doesn't have much potential, he should definitely still improve. Right now, he's with Trek Segafredo. His contract runs out. He's making $3,500 a month, and we're giving him that small boost. So for that, we've got him all nice and signed up for the year. I wanted the two guys with the high potential, but I was very, very nervous about whether we'll actually make Pro Continental or not, because the overall of the team hasn't really changed. And last season, I ended up just missing out on promotion. So looking at Pro Continental, the teams that are there right now, we see that there's only a handful that, at least at the moment, are looking like 2-star teams. All of the 2.5-star teams are looking at being Pro Continental still next year, and you can see that there's a few groups at the top that are looking quite good, potentially moving up to World Tour. And for those that are Continental right now, I am at the top of the list for projection, but it's also only the 4th of August, so I'm 2.5 stars, which is great, but it doesn't mean that I'm guaranteed a spot at Continental Pro, as you know, there's a handful of teams up here right now that are all hitting that 2.5 star, and you could see that it is 2.5 star right now. That seems to be what that edge is, right? You need 2.5 stars to be Continental Pro. That doesn't mean it's going to stay that. Teams are going to sign more guys, and they're going to bump up that list. So even though I am in 34th right now, and 45 is the safe point, I've got 11 spots till I'm on the bubble. I'm still nervous about whether we're going to be Continental Pro next year. I need to get that designation to get into the better races, to kind of improve the overall outlook of the team, to at some point be able to raise up to World Tour. So I'm still really nervous about whether we're going to make it or not to that next level, to that next tier. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on this over time, see that projection, and we're not going to go higher. The reason for that is, let's see, is it in the messages? No, it's not there anymore. Let's see, negotiations, no, it's not even in there any longer. Shortlist. Okay, so I think it was this guy. These are my two high potential ones. I mean, they're not crazy high. It's not 5'8", but 4'7" is still good. He's a climber, a 68. Comparatively, this rider is definitely not as good, but with the high potential, he'll get there eventually. Now, I got him to agree to a contract for 25. So you can see we were actually at 100 here. We got him signed. It was 3,000. Everything's good to go. However, everything's not good to go. Here's what we have. So 2020, we have our budget. I have 13 riders under contract, which it's enough for Pro Continental. I mean, that's an okay number. 14's better, but you can see. So total salary, $66,000 a month. That's a $12,000 bump. So we were at 54 this year. I'm spending $43,000 on riders. I'm spending $20,000 on staff. What I have left is $2,300, which is not enough to sign him. They won't let me sign him. He agreed to a deal. Team would not let me sign him. And also, the minimum salary The absolute minimum is 2,500, which means I couldn't sign the other guy even if he wanted to go for 2,500. So we're done. I'm nervous. That's why I signed the other guy though, because he's a 72. Raised our profile ever so slightly. It didn't raise our rank, but it did raise us up just slightly. And hopefully we'll secure our place. Now, the one thing to look at still is, let's see, Continental and there we go. Oh, this isn't the one I was looking for. There is... it's in here. There we go. We are definitely looking better. But we were 2.5 stars last season and missed out. So not every 2.5 star team is going to make it to Pro Continental. Right now, that's where the cutoff is. But there's so much left to do signing-wise that cutoff is going to change. But I'm not the same team that I was, even though we're still 2.5 stars heading into next season. Yes, right now we're projected there, but I'm worried about that long term. But looking at this, you can see the team we were, which is in blue, and the team we're going to be next season in the yellowish orange here. So we're improving in the time trial. We're improving GC a lot, and we have the tiniest improvement in hill. Cobbles were the same, sprint were the same, but as a virtually all sprint team this last year, with a little bit of hill capability, we're definitely expanding our capabilities heading into next season, especially in the GC. And a lot of that's coming with the addition of Conchi and Vervecchi. So these new riders coming in join at the top. So we go from a couple 72s to 4 72s, and these other guys there. And I'm hoping that somebody, like a Veldeman or Marini, will level up. Now, Van Hemlen's super high potential, so hopefully he's going to level up as well before the end of the season to raise that profile a little bit further. Because I think what we need right now is somebody at a 73. We'll keep an eye on that.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
Alright, we are now at the Tour of Utah, largely American race, but it's a much higher profile race than what I'm used to, and it's also a lot more competitive of a race. Now, Brown was dropped heading up over the climb, but he managed to just hang on to the back of the group and just recover, so as Simpson is actually in charge here of leading us out at the moment, Brown, and thanks to that downhill recovery, is actually right back where I want him to be. So we're going to step you up to about a 95 so you're ready to go. And we're going to set follow. We're already down to 16 kilometers. Breakaway group still away, but only by a small margin. It's definitely time to speed things up. So we're going to go 95 here with Brown.
15 kilometers left.
Apparently we're going to go 97. A little bit of a downhill, still getting the job done to not use up any energy. 52 seconds to 3 riders who are fighting each other. We are very much overmatched. I don't have my strongest sprint team, and you can see negatives all up and down on the race day condition.
The pack is increasing
So
its work rate.
it's going to be really difficult as the
10 kilometers to the finish line. Another attack. This time it
referee car drives right through the team. Okay, couple little uphill loops here. I think it's the same one twice, but Simpson running it well. Let's go maybe 97. Van Ginneken, get ready. 8.5K. Almost up over the top, so Van Ginneken, go ahead and charge. All right, 2 of those riders about to be caught. That last one still staying away. That's Williams.
The finish line is getting close. The
5K to go.
5 kilometers road sign. Attack with the finishing line.
And we're going to have that little uphill again here. Garrison now leading it out. Thank you again. Job done. 4 riders. Short distance to cover, but this uphill, you can see, is doing a little bit of damage to everyone. But this pace is what's going to get it done. So we've caught Williams. He was actually on the left-hand side there. Easter. Oh, no. Too late. Go. Easter leading us over the top. Veldeman going to sprint it out now. And Bull a little bit longer. There's the final turn. And here comes the real sprinters. But we should have a top 3 here. Dan McClay, Clark for EF Education first, a 1-2. But we get 3rd place, 5th place. That's a good result for us. 3rd place. I know there was a sponsor objective here. I don't know exactly what it was. I'll have to take a look at that. It's going to be hard to meet any sponsor objective with what is a weak team, a weak sprint team, and a horrible race day condition kind of up and down. I really staggered the team out, and for much of the season, I'd have 2 or 3 riders on fitness peak and others off and, bouncing back and forth. And all of a sudden, we're facing the exact opposite situation, where I've got kind of everybody in a down period right now. Makes things a little bit difficult. But good finish for Veldeman to get a podium spot. And Bull adding a 5th place is definitely a good result for us.
And here are a few of the key moments.
With 3 pro-American teams, even if most of their riders aren't American, it's definitely a difficult task for us to finish as high as we did. A 1-2 for EF Education first, and you're welcome. And I can't close that right now, so I'll take care of that in a second. Trek is there. BMC's highest finisher was 9th. So you can see the big teams are all over the top 15 in the standings, with 1 rally rider. Really the only non-tour team besides myself, with 3 guys in the top 12. That does give us that little bit of a time bonus, but we're not going to be in any sort of contention for anything, so we're just going to squeeze out some finishes where we can. Before I take care of that, we'll take a quick look here at what is the objective for this race. Not that it necessarily matters anymore at this point in the season, as these final 5 races are all after we've already signed that contract for next year to increase that budget by $12,000. But this is a big 4-star objective, and it is stage win. That's a difficult ask for this race, for this team, and I didn't really show up with my best sprint team either to make things worse. So, but like I said, it's after the deadline already, so not too worried about it.
A rider just launched an attack.
Final 30K. Here's a quick look at the run up to the finish. You can see it's slightly uphill. We had a pretty hefty climb earlier, and it certainly did some damage to the field, and it did leave some riders off the back, well behind, nearly 5 minutes back. But we do have a peloton of 94 riders, so there's plenty left. There is some damage in the field. You can see Brown barely hanging on at this point. Van Ginniken a bit better off, but not looking too strong either. But all in all, we are looking pretty well set to have a standard sprint finish, as opposed to what was expected on what is classified as a hill stage. So we're down to 23K. I'm going to go a little bit further along before I form up my sprint train, especially with like Brown is already out of energy and won't be part of it. Just 1 rider left off the front, just 10 seconds ahead, so this is going to be a good time, because as soon as he is caught, we could see some attacks. if the pace goes out of the group with no one to chase. Okay, Bull -2. Still strongest sprinter, so even though he's in 8th and Veldeman is 3rd and wearing the under 25s jersey right now, I'll keep that order the same. Now Garrison is back to a 0 condition today, which puts them above Easter. Easter's got the same +1. Simpson still fresh. And Kinnikin left. Brown, nothing left. I'm not even going to use Brown here. 17K, and yeah, we'll just put some light pressure on now. Start with the 92. 91's enough, apparently.
The pack has just reeled in the escape group.
Okay, go ahead and use his gel, and
We've got 15 kilometers to
yeah,
the finish
other
line.
than Brown, that's everybody. Brown, let's go ahead and just set you to auto, and let's speed this up a little bit. So we have the steepest climb left right now. We're going to hit the top of this pretty soon. It is doing some damage to Van Ginniken, but he's just about to hit the top, and then this is not flat at all. The flattest section is the run into the finish itself. Van Ginniken should recover enough here to, well, maybe not. Maybe not. He's gonna, well, he did hit the bottom.
The pace
Okay.
has slowed somewhat. It's perhaps due to fatigue, but I'd bet on some sort of tactical choice. 10
Simpson.
kilometers to the finish line.
That's going to be the top of the other one. That's the worst of that climbing is done. Everybody behind Simpson is fresh, and he's going to go 99 as we're down under 8K. Brown is dropped from the group. We're down to 25 riders, so we have done some damage on those little climbs. 7K to go. 5 riders. And now it is uphill from here to the finish, so their energy is going to run away quite a bit faster. Here's Easter now, Simpson, great job there. And Ginniken is supposed to be on auto.
Last 5 kilometers.
Yeah, energy's running out a lot faster here for Easter with the uphill, even if it's not steep. Okay, on to Garrison. That's 3 riders, over 3K to go, which means I don't have a lot left in the tank. .9, Veldeman leading out Bull. Now sprinting. He's going to pull Bull a little bit further, and there goes Bull coming out from behind. It's a good start. You can see how much faster those guys are behind, but he's in great shape. Could get second. Simon Clark comes over the top, and Hoydonk. Cease Bull takes 4th. No stage win today. Stage win's going to be hard to come by in this race. So close for Bull. He goes from 2nd to 4th in the final 5 meters. Not sure if they're going to give any time splits there. It's possible. We did have the group down to, I believe, 25 riders. Probably 8 or 9, 10K before the end. So theoretically, there should be a split. But this game doesn't often give those splits. Final riders way off the pace, still not in. They've already been eliminated 20 minutes ago.
And here are the race highlights that we've selected for you.
Yeah, you can see these guys overtaking me just before the end. Oh, I ran out of energy at that 5 meters. You can see they pushed for the line. Bull came up half a second short on the requisite energy to keep pace. Oh, look, that 4 in a row from Trek. Alright, so the overall now, Veldman 7th. Bull still not moving up, so actually loses 2 places with the time bonuses. Third in the sprint, Veldman 9th. Let's go back to the time, though. Was there any time gaps? I told you. They don't give them 91 riders all on the same time. Katusha Alpecin having their budget lowered. Okay, we're going to move into stage 3. This is the first mountain stage before we get to the actual sprint stages, but I still don't think our odds are really much better. That podium that we've gotten might be as high as we're able to get. Certainly in contention, but there are much faster sprinters than what I have here at this race. 63 kilometers left to go in this one, and this is the climbing stage, and we're going to hit that one climb of the day right about now. Let's see, it is a pretty steep one. Rigoberto Uran is the favorite. That's a former teammate of mine in the Pro Cyclist series, where I spent 2 seasons with EF Education First. Pace hasn't been too hot, but we are now to that point in the race where pace is ramping up as we're chasing down 8 riders. Those 8 riders just 50 seconds ahead now, and even at a 79, we are sliding right back, so we need to really pick up the pace here. Wow, 86, we're sliding right back. 87, sliding back. This is not good. This is way too much pace. Can't really go much higher than 89, otherwise we have 0 chance of making the top. Oh, I thought that was a big crash. Just that awkward, glitchy moment where things got super steep for a moment. Alright, guys are kind of just about hanging on at 89. But see just how fast the resistance is falling away, as none of these are climbers. Simpson's closest to being a climber with a 68. So he is protected rider on the day, but at this point we are so weak that it doesn't seem to matter who's protected and who's not. They are all struggling. The first steep section, that's a good 6.5K long. We're getting past that. It's going to level off a little bit here. Unfortunately, it's not going to make much difference. Van Ginneken has been dropped officially. Garrison has now been dropped. Brown is about to fall off the back. There he goes. Easter also off the back. We're down to 3 riders here in the group. Cease Bowl falling out the back right now. There he goes. Feldman falling out the back. There he goes. 24 riders left. And Simpson, the last one hanging on, and only just. We're going to get over this first peak. We're going to have a little downhill section right there's the top. That'll be right here. 10K into the climb. Simpson hanging on for now. He'll get just a tiny bit of recovery here, but it's not enough because we're going to go uphill in just a moment. Take a moment to set everyone to auto. Looks like most of my team have come together in Group A5. Alright, here's Simpson just hanging on. This section starts gradual, but it's going to get really steep, and there's no recovery here before the final really steep section, so this group of 21 is going to get thinned out a lot more. But with that downhill all the way to the finish, could we recover? Could we be close enough? Here's that first section. It's really steep right now, and that's definitely doing some damage. That's done us in. But we're not dropped yet. Yeah, it's still together. 20 riders. But here we go again. And I'm going to go right out the back here along with 3, 4, 5 other riders. Yeah, 5 riders dropped here. 15 left in the peloton now. Simpson. Don't get dropped from this group, huh? You guys are all struggling. Rosskopf also. So there's Sean Bennett, Sean Mannion, Van Hoedonk, who just took, what, 3rd in the last stage? Alex Howes. Rosskopf dropped. There's more ahead of him, also struggling. There's the top. Oh, there's Conchi. That's our new teammate for next season. He's in the race. And you can see he has definitely done a little bit better. And he's not team leader. He probably wasn't protected the way Simpson was. Simpson, don't get dropped by the group. Come on. Stay with these guys. Stay with these guys. Downhill coming here soon. Yeah, here's the actual peak after the peak. Now we're going to start descending. But there's still a little bit of uphill sections here. Hopefully Simpson can start to recover. Well, we have some ups and downs. You can see lots of little peaks at the top of this mountain. Simpson just a little bit of resistance now. But it looks like we are too far back, 2.5 minutes already, so we will not be catching back up. So no contention for the overall. Plus we got a stage coming up, stage 6, I think. That's a real mountain finish, 2 mountain climbs. So we are very much out of contention, but the guys are right there, 45 seconds. Just 45 seconds to the 15 riders at the front. But it's opening back up here as we don't have any strength to climb. Just 2 climbs left to go here. Here's one of them right now. Grab myself some water here. 30K still to go. 1 minute. Don't get dropped. Don't get dropped. Stay in the group.
The riders are in a portion above
40 seconds. And we're on the back for now. Yes. We've done it. We have done it. We've remade contact. So, we do have somebody still in it. George Simpson. One of 20 riders. TJ Van Garderen, Evan Huffman, Swerble. Swerble's coming to the team next year also. So there you go. 2 riders coming to the team. Those are my 2 72 riders that are coming to the team for next year. So Simpson kind of just getting in there. Imagine what I could do with those 2 guys on the team next year. That's that plan. Sean Bennett leading out. There's Uran following him. Faline. There's Clark. Mostly down to the World Tour teams plus a couple other stronger riders. And then George Simpson. Doesn't belong in the group, but here he is. 1 rider trying to give chase. A few riders behind that. Hecht. Nathan Brown. The other Brown. So both Browns are here. Jonathan, I think they're brothers. Remember season 1, Jonathan was wearing the national champion jersey when Nathan Brown was the one who won it. And he was wearing it too, by the way. They both were. That was awkward. Alright, 15K to go to the finish. All downhill. We're on cruise control for now. Simpson, fully recovered. Gaps behind, not coming down, but it's 4 riders giving chase now, so he was caught by the 3 behind. They're going to try to get us, but I don't think they'll be able to with 10K to go. A little over a minute. 8K. One-man sprint. And not a sprinter at all. Sprint's a 60 on the day. Acceleration's a 63. So we'll be lucky to get a top 10 here. 4K to go. $3K. Use the energy gel coming into the city here. 2K to go. Come on, get through, get through, get through. 1K to go.
There goes the sprint. The strong men are giving
Not very many guys are sprinting for it. This looks like a top 10.
final moment of excitement. He snatched victory.
Simon Clark gets the win. He was already in the yellow jersey.
Thank his teammates.
Joyce,
Let him out in
Fabio
perfect
Feline,
conditions.
Brambilla, TJ Van Garderen, Rigoberto Uran. Simpson takes 8th.
Across the line, it's a bit of a knock for
Well
the
done.
morale.
There's most of the rest of my team already coming in. Just 2 guys left out there. And there they both are. Alright, well, that's a few stages of the Larry Miller Tour of Utah out of the way. 4 stages left to go. Objective, again, is to get a stage win, but that's going to be very hard to come by. We've still got the Colorado Classic coming up. We've got a few other races still on the schedule to wrap up
There's a report on
this
the radio of a rider
season.
coming off his bike.
We're
But
looking
apparently, he's back in the saddle.
at least one more episode, probably more like 2 episodes to get to the end of the season before we start the next year. We're going to keep a close eye out in those next 2 seasons, next 2 episodes, to the team rankings to see where we fall in, because it doesn't matter how many points I'm earning. It's all about the team makeup, what the team looks like. And we were a 2.5 star team, barely making 2.5 stars. Now we're comfortably a 2.5 star team, but we still haven't really ranked up at all. So I'm still very nervous about the outlook for next season. And at this point, I'm not sure that we're guaranteed a Pro Continental spot. I don't think we've quite gotten there yet. I really needed that 73 or 74 rider, and I could not get any of those signed. Could not afford to sign any of those and still keep a team behind them. So getting a couple more riders at the same level I was already at only slightly boosts that profile. And while we're dropping quite a few 66, 67s for 71s and 72s, I was already with quite a few 71s and 72s after this last season. So the overall of the team, again, is improved for next season, but still not sure that we're in the clear yet on Pro Continental. So that's what we'll primarily keep an eye out for over those next 2 episodes as we wrap this season up. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.